Welcome to my channel. I am Desde 86. In this channel, we're going to be doing lots of unboxings, reviews from animes, movies, design of the box, design of the figure, the options that come with it, the expressions, everything that's included in it. We will be covering everything. Statues, figures, cards, name it, and we'll probably have a video based on that. Don't forget to leave your like and subscribe to this channel. Thank you for joining me on this new adventure. Now let's start the show. Hello everyone, my name is Desde 86. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I will be showing you another fabulous collaboration between Pokemon Center and Bear Walker. I believe this is the 7th iteration of these special collaborations here with these special skateboards. On this particular set, you have Charmander, Squirtle, Bulbasaur, and Cubone. So for today's video, I'm sure you're wondering which are the 4 I picked. So let's see. Yeah, I couldn't pick one of the starters over the other one, so I ended up taking all 3. Sorry, Cubone.
Cubone! Cubone, good try. Come on back, don't cry.
We will now open the first one. First impressions, it's got the black styrofoam packaging. As you can take a look, it's got the QRD code on it. And if you flip it around, it's got the instructions on how to assemble the board. So let's see which Pokemon you're going to be watching first here. Here you can see the first starter Pokemon that I've got here is Charmander, the fiery Pokemon. Man, this thing looks beautiful. If you like what you're seeing, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like on the video here. And also don't forget to comment on what your opinions are on these new skateboards that you're seeing here today. So the first layer, as you can see, it's got the Charmander board. Let's see what's in the second one. And knowing from the time I opened the Gyarados one, I'm pretty sure the assembly portions are in the second layer of this box here. So upon removing the second content, you guys can see that it's got the other stuff that comes with the board, the wheels, the base, and it's got the spacers, which it looks like in this particular one the spacers fell out of place. They're not in their spots, so it was probably shifting during the shipping. And it also got the little Charmander card there. If you remember from the Gyarados one, it kind of gave you a number of how many boards these were made. One thing that was noted differently on this particular packaging is that he didn't use a styrofoam for the pieces that are holding the skateboard parts. If you guys remember from the last one, it was all styrofoam. So it seems like with every iteration, he keeps improving on the shipping methods. So it seems like it's more of a trial of what works best and what doesn't. In this particular one, I would say he kind of missed the point on the spacers, because those fell out during the shipping. So I would say he probably needs to tighten up the dimensions there. Here's an overview of the Charmander skateboard. As you guys and gals can see, it's got some really fine details here. You can see Charmander more towards the center a little bit. It's got some flame effects towards the top and the bottom. It's got the Pokeball. Personally, I know I got the Gengar skateboard from the first iteration. I kind of wish now I would have gotten the Charizard that came out during the first set. Maybe they'll do another iteration of the Charizard like they did with the Mew. I think Mew got 2 iterations now. Pikachu's got 2 of them. Gyarados had 2. Umbreon has 2 as well. So maybe the Charizard will get another iteration of it. But here the details are pretty fantastic here. He chose the orange background with a little bit of black at the top, mostly at the top. And you can kind of see how he's got the lines coming up and down the board, showing the highlight of the yellowish to light orange towards the black, towards the edge of the tips. And then he's got the flame effect near the Pokeball at the bottom. And you can kind of see how strategically he put some nice good color there on the Charmander to differentiate it from the top, so the orange is not too heavy. And then you can also see how he two-toned the flame on the tail. and then he went in and he colored in the eyeballs as well as the innards of the mouth to give it that live Pokemon dynamics there. This is one really sharp skateboard here. Now let's go look into the closer finer details here so you guys can fully see the depthness and close up of the details here. Looking at a close up of the Charmander board, on the background, similar theme. He's got the flames in the top and the middle, and then in the section by the Pokeball. So this probably goes into his signature move, Ember. He made it as big as possible as he could fit it here. Now let's show you some of the in-depth details used here. He did a good shading here with the Charmander. He used a very light orange. You can see a good dark coloring of the eyes as it shows the light clearing through it, giving that effect. And then he kind of color coded in the interiors of the mouth there with a light pink and a dark pink. Then you can see a closer detail of the flaming tail here with somewhat a light gray, and then he didn't color the other side of the flame to kind of show that 3D effect of it. Same thing with the body, as you guys can see here. The belly areas and the under areas along with the claws on his feet are the color of the board. This kind of sucks that the hole for the wheelbase ended up cutting one of Charmander's claw. I think if he would have moved the Charmander, I don't know, maybe 50 mils up in the board design, he could have avoided this little area here and still not impact the overall effect of Charmander, since the Charmander here is pretty huge. He's almost running from side to side of the board. Overall, this one looks really good. I think my only complaint on this particular one would just be the little misperfection I showed you guys earlier, right here of the claw kind of being in the way of the hole for the screw that holds the wheelbase. And that's just me being picky here. It doesn't really take away of the overall image here. Here's a close-up detail of the Pokeball showing right next to the flame effects here. Is Charmander the one you would pick?
I choose you, Charmander!
So guys and gals, this is the second one. Let's see what this one looks like. Again, following the same packaging pattern as the first one. Here you can see again it's got the bear walk instructions with the QRD code. Now let's remove the styrofoam. Look at that beauty, another one. This is Squirtle. Well, this board is really glowing in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think of this one. So let's see what's in the packaging here. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same one as last time, but again, let's take a look at it. And again, as noted in the other one, as you guys can see, the whole thing shifted during shipping. The skateboard spacers are definitely well out of spot, and this one was even worse because the Squirtle cart came off its own slot. So I guess during shipping it was just bouncing around, hitting everything in sight. So hopefully the card is still intact, which I'm sure it is. But you can kind of see where my feedback on the packaging goes is time the dimensions for the spacers and maybe a little bit on the card. But other than that, it seems like everything else stayed in spot. I still think the better one was the styrofoam versus the plastic that you see guys here. If I had to take a guess, this would depend on how much cost it would have been comparing this plastic cutout versus the styrofoam, and you gotta think about the weight and all that. But I think right now the styrofoam did a lot better when we did the Gyarados board. So we'll see what he does on iteration 8. I'm pretty sure this is how it was intended to arrive here. Now going over the Squirtle Skateboard here, you guys and gals can see he used the blue background. He's got a couple water effects and a couple bubbles coming there off the background. He also got the somewhat light blue on the middle of the skateboard going towards the edges, kind of darkening into that dark blue, possibly a black towards the end. He's got the Pokeball down at the bottom, then Squirtle got him in the center. This is kind of one of the Squirtle signature poses, as you can guys see here. The details are pretty well scribed in here. You can see the front of the shell, the rear. Squirtle's jumping happily here. You can kind of see where the eyes always get that little reflection of light towards the top of the pupils there. He went and colored the insides. He colored Squirtle's little body with kind of like a light turquoise color. And if you guys look at the very back of the shell, you guys can see that it's got a very light hint of brown on it. Probably one of the techniques he used when he did the skateboard for Eevee. So you can kind of show here some more of that special good shading, where on the far view you can see it more clearly than if I do the zoom up view, which I'll show you here pretty quickly here. And then inside on the top of Squirtle, you can see the bubbles coming off of it, and then the bottom, it looks like it's some kind of water splash effect there. Another board here, it's got some really good details on it. So now let's get a close-up view so you guys can see the details and the etching here as a close-up. Here's a close-up of the Squirtle Skateboard. As you can see towards the top, it's got the dark shading transitioning into a darker blue, and then towards the center he transitions towards a much lighter blue. On this one, on the background, it looks like you can see some bubble effect, so it's probably coming from Squirtle's signature move, Bubble. And down towards the Pokeball, looks like it looks like it's coral with some weeds in the side of it. So this is probably showing a image of maybe Squirtle is underwater and is swimming towards the top, and maybe the bubbles are the air bubbles from him breathing. I don't know. Just trying to see what the thinking was when they chose this design pose here. Overall, it's a pretty good layout, and it's really well done. Now let's take a closer look at the Squirtle and finer details here. Here, let me show you some of the layering that he did for Squirtle. So as you can see, the tail almost comes to the edge of the board here. And there's the brown I mentioned earlier, where close up you see the slight tint of it, but it comes more visible as you zoom out. So it's not too light and it's not too dark to make it really strong as a focus point. Looking at the boards in general, it seems like the main background gets the heavier, darker colors, while the Pokemon itself gets more soft, light colors. So here you can see some of the depth given on the face, between the eyes showing that little sparkling the Squirtle always shows when you look at him. And you can see the details in the mouth there. And you can see some of the shading here. Here's the details on the Pokeball. Here's some details of the bubble effects. Has this one captured your eyes into getting it? Or are you still waiting for the third one?
I choose you, Squirtle!
Now let's see what's behind this door. So following the same formula, you have the Bear Walker QRD with instructions on it, followed with the slide packaging. One thing I noticed is the styrofoam used on these particular iteration 7 is that the styrofoam is a little bit thinner than the Gyarados and the Mew. Look at this green beauty. Here you have the Bulbasaur. These boards are just fantastic. Have you made up your mind on which one you would pick, or would you take all three here? Let me know in the comments. It's really hard to pick if you had this choice. That's why you guys can see why I went on and got all three. And again, as you guys and gals can see here, same thing happened as the other ones. Everything shifted out of place as far as the spacers and the cart goes, but the heavy stuff like the wheels and the holders, they stayed in the same spots. Then again, it goes back to tying the dimensions on the spacers and the section that holds the cart. Or another one is just go back to the styrofoam packaging. But again, you gotta think about it from a cost perspective and a weight perspective as far as shipping as well. I'm not sure which one would weigh heavier, and maybe that's something that we can do here later. Is just do a weight comparison of the packaging and see maybe that's what determined the update to the packaging, or I don't know. So what you see now, I went back and I corrected it, and I think this is the intention of the shipping packaging of the presentation here. Looking at this one, this is the Bulbasaur one. This one he used mostly green in the background, complementing the Pokemon's colors here. On this one, he's got the Pokeball down at the bottom, and in the background of Bulbasaur, he put a couple, they look like seeds, but they could also be leaves. So I'm not really sure what it is. If you guys know what it is, let me know in the comments. Because to me right now, I don't know, I mean, it depends on how you look at it. I could kind of see the leaf shape on them, but if you look on some of these, when it starts to kind of give it somewhat of a 3D view, it looks like they're seeds. Kind of like when the seed first opens up, especially when he does his signature move, Leech Seed. So I think maybe that's what it is. It's probably Leech Seed, and you just don't see the vines coming off of it, versus just having leaves in the background. So Charmander showed his signature move Ember, Squirtle showed his signature move Bubble, so Bulbasaur will show his signature move Leech Seed. So on this particular board, you can see where he used the light green shadings in the center and kind of tipped it off to the edge as a darker green, more progressing towards the black, so you can kind of see the lines of the perimeter of the board, highlighting that as he goes from a light green to a dark green to eventually black as he gets to the edges of the board from the top and bottom. And then you can kind of see how he used the three different shadings of green to highlight Bulbasaur's skin color, as well as the bulb on its back and the little, I guess I'm gonna call them freckles on it. And he gave Bulbasaur a nice smile there, so he looks really happy there. And you can see the fine details of the innards of its eyes and its mouth. And it's some really good craftsmanship here on the shading and the details that they put, even though these Pokemons are not heavy designs to create versus some of the other ones of their more evolved forms, but this is pretty good. Now let's do a close-up of the details here so you guys can take a look at the in-depths and the techniques used here. Here you can see in great detail the attack Leech Seed. You can see the etching details he used to create the 3D effect of it. You kind of see it's got a very light pattern of where it kind of rotates. If you start from the bottom of the board and look towards the top of it, you can kind of see how the pattern progresses kind of in a snake way, going from right to left and then right to left, so forth until it gets to the top. Looking closely at the Bulbasaur, you can kind of see the great details there that he used to etch the bulb there, and then as he goes down into Bulbasaur's body, you can kind of see in close detail the whole shading techniques there that was used. Here's an angle to somewhat give you the layering techniques used. The green shading is really fantastic here. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of this Bulbasaur board. Is Bulbasaur the one you would pick?
I choose you, Bulbasaur!
Here's a close-up view of the Pokemon cards that come with this particular set of skateboards. On this particular set, he got a little bit fancier. You can kind of see that his signature is etched into the card. The card is almost as thick as a regular credit card.
The fire Pokemon, Charmander. The water Pokemon, Squirtle. The plant Pokemon, Bulbasaur.
So right here, looking at the cards, it shows you an edition of 1500. I kind of wish he would tell you what number you got, because I think that will make it even more special. And obviously, as you guys, if you guys can recall from the first series that came out, they were quickly sold on the website, and then they ended up being on eBay for like 10 times the price of the original cost of it. And that was something, the typical pattern when these first iteration of the boards came out. They will automatically fly off the website, and 2 seconds later they were already on eBay being sold for like 20 times the price. And that's probably why he doesn't want to tell you what number you have here, because you already know whoever gets the first edition, the second one, and possibly even the third one, or its particular number, they're automatically going to end up on eBay and start selling for astronomical prices, which I don't think that's the intent here. Squirtle, the water Pokemon, Charmander, the fire type, or Bulbasaur, the grass poison. If you like what you saw, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments which starter Pokemon you will pick out of these three fantastic ones, or if you just option out for the Cubone, which is the one I did not get. This is what I have for you today. Thank you for joining me on this new adventure, and I hope to see you on the next one. Thank you, and bye.
Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle. Each one is available for new trainees. Which one shall you choose?